Hi, so I'm going to be showing you how to mold and block fabrics for a fascinator. Are you ready? So we'll just need a paper mat, we need the mold. I already covered that mold in the nylon. We need pins, so you could get the normal flat back or the colored ones. Then we need the fabrics. For this particular one, I'm going to use sequin and satin. We're going to use a bias tape. I didn't find my pink bias tape, so I just put that black there. I forgot to mention we need a millinery wire. So I'm going to use an old lip balm of mine. I've had that lip balm for so long and I don't like it anymore. I'm going to be using it as my moisturizer for the mold. So I'll measure this mold 7 inches, basically whatever you measure it through. On a normal day, adding just 2 inches to this 7 inches would just be fine, but because we're working with paper mat, it sheds a lot, so I'm going to be giving extra 3 inches on both sides. So by the time I measure, I'll discover that that's 3 inches, that's 3 inches on the other side. So that's how I'm going to be measuring it, 3 extra inches. So I'm going to be cutting it this way. Remember that we're working with 2, not 1. So overall, what we have cut here is 13 inches by 13 inches. You know how 3 inches on top and 3 inches at the bottom plus 7 inches in the middle gives us a total of 13. I'm going to start molding now, but before then I'll moisturize my mold. So I'll just get my lip balm and apply. You can use any oil you like, a machine oil, coconut oil, petroleum jelly, as long as it's oil. Just make sure you don't use the oil that will stain everywhere, you know what I mean. But when you're molding with 2, you just flip it over like this. You don't mold it straight up, you flip the one on top this way and begin to mold. Same thing for cinamay, do the same thing. So I'll pull both opposite sides. So I'll pick the opposite side as well. We're going to continue with this method until we are done molding everything. I'll advise you that when you're pinning this, you should move it close to the middle a little bit. I don't know how to explain this, but don't do it close to the tip of the mold. Take it farther a little bit. It helps the mold stay properly. So this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be picking it opposite side by opposite. As you can see, it's getting smooth already. What we want to achieve is a very, very smooth front. So I'm going to keep going in opposite each other until I get to a point where the whole opposite thing is not going to work because everywhere is already full and compact. Thereafter, I'll start pulling it individually to smoothing it out. As you can see what I'm doing, my fingers are helping me here, but if you don't have long fingers that could help you like that, you could use a scissors or something to just lay it down smoothly and then you pin it. As you can see, we want smooth edges, so I'm going to do this all the way around. So you pick one other part, pull it very hard, lay it down with your fingers or anything else and pin it down. I'll keep doing this till I have gone around successfully and the front of the mold is very smooth. I explained earlier that we had to measure extra of this paper mat because it sheds a lot. As you can see, it's already shedding. So this is actually what we are laying down. So we'll just pull it that way, press it down and just pin it down. So that's the part where we cross our T's and dot our I's in this particular mold. You feel me, right? So this is it. It's so smooth. Look at the edges, very smooth and well laid. So I'm going to pick my pattern paper because I don't want to stain my working table. On a normal day, I'm supposed to do this in the sink or outside, but I'm doing it on my working table because of you. Tell me thank you. So it's advisable to take it somewhere that's comfortable for you because it's wet. Having applied my stiffener, the next thing I'm going to do is to pick the fabrics I'm going to be blocking with. So I'll just go ahead and pick it. This is what I'm going to be using. If I had used the sequins directly, it's going to be black. So I want to use this as the first layer and then I put sequins on top. As you can see, it is stretchy, so it's going to make our work easier. For some reason, I lost the clip where I actually started this particular block. So I'll lay the front of the sequin on a surface and do the same thing for the satin, and then I'll just put that mold in between. So I'm assuming that mold was the mold we just finished with the stiffener on it still wet. so I'll just pin it that way, exactly the same way we have molded it all along. Pin the first side, pick the opposite side, and do that until we can't go in opposite directions anymore. And then we begin to smoothen it out with the fingers the way I had smoothened the initial one the first time. It's just exactly the same method, nothing changed. So we're done right now, and this is what it looks like. Do you like it? So I'm going to be taking just a little bit of my stiffener and just put it around it. But if you're working with a patterned fabric like African print, popularly known as Ankara for instance, stiffener tends to make the color darker than its original color. So what you just need to do is to put your brush in the water and just brush it around it. So this is dry and already cut, so I'm measuring the circumference, and what I'm arriving at is 23 inches, and then I'll cut my wires, put it inside, and use my needle and thread to attach the wire to the base. Remember to always use an invisible thread. Haven't done that, I'm going to use my bias tape to cover it up for neat finishing. So I'll use my glue gun right now, and I'll just attach the bias tape all around it. Please, our hot glue is very hot, like I always say, so I always advise use your peg to pin whatever you want to glue down if you can. It's easier and more comfortable. So I'll just fix the last part, and voila, I am done. But when you're done, just leave the molded fascinator to dry out a little bit for maximum security. Now it's dry, I'll just take off my pegs, and that is it. This is the end of this project. So you can use this fascinator base for just any project you feel like. Ask me any question. Thanks for watching.